if you want to be in the next community cards video, then head over to my Discord, link in the description below. And in the media room here, you will see the submit cards channel. Once you're here, click on the download this template pinned message I put there for you, and you will see this template that I created for you. You can download this and edit it to your heart's content. You can choose whichever rarity you want your character to be. The typing, the stats, the links, categories, passive, SA effects, leader skills, all of that good stuff. Once you're done building your custom unit, you can then paste it here, you know, amongst these other submissions, and I will eventually get to them in a video format. I'm trying to cover, you know, 4 to 5 concepts that you create per video, depending on how complex these characters end up being, and I will be covering these characters in order of which they were actually submitted. So just keep that in mind. So, you know, the sooner you get in here, the faster I'm going to eventually get to your concept. I'm not going to be pushing these out, you know, at a super consistent pace, because the things that are going on in Dokkan will always take priority or precedence. But whenever there's like a little, you know, downtime, or there isn't really much going on, I would definitely love to push out as many of these videos as I possibly can to, again, show love to your creativity and the things that you can basically cook up in the kitchen, if you will. So I would love to see what you guys have in mind. And if you're someone, you know who you are. If you're someone who low-key tends to build characters in their notes, then I think this would be a great opportunity for you to take it maybe one level further. If, of course, you'd like, you definitely do not have to. But our first submission here does come way of Purist. He is one of the card builders in our Discord, and he created a transforming DFE Vegeta from the Cell Saga. Now, I will say, please keep in mind that when it comes to building these concepts, try to make them not too, I'm not saying purist, because I have not read anything but the leader skill. I'm going to show you what I mean in a second, but I have not seen what these characters do just yet besides the leader skill. That way I can pull up the leader skill and show you guys what the leader skill actually looks like, or how it will affect the actual game. But please make sure to not make these characters too OP. Let's have a little bit of fun. If you're going to make a character really OP in one area, make sure you give them a balanced weakness in another area. Anything that's too absurdly OP, honestly, just isn't fun. And so it kind of takes away, and I might end up skipping that, to be honest. I'm looking for characters who can compete in today's meta, who may be really strong in one area, but may be lacking in another, or has some really cool gimmicks and things like that. So let's hop into this, starting off again with the DFE Vegeta concept from our man Purist here. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me go ahead, if I can do this. Okay, there we go. So this is right now the leader skill of the concept that Purist made for us. So that's what I was saying before. I do have the leader skills pulled up for some of these concepts already, just so I can show you and give you an actual visualization of what they envision the leader skills to be. So for here, we have a Cell Saga. Wait, was it Cell Saga? Yeah, okay. Android / Cell Saga Vegeta. And yeah, so transforming goes into Super Saiyan. Leader skill is Super Saiyans and Mastered Evolution, or Mastered Evolution, 3 key 170, and then an extra 30% to Pure Saiyans or Prodigious Warriors. So this is again what that category looks like. Honestly, some pretty good characters in here. Nothing too crazy or OP, but you can definitely make a decent, especially with Carnival Goku, you know, floating and supporting, you can definitely make a solid, I'd give you a solid team with Vegeta leading the charge. He is a TUR, he is a tech type. Yeah, he is a tech type, by the way. And something I already love about what Purist did here was I mean, these specific screenshots aren't all from the Cell Saga, but what he wants us to see is a visualization, right, of what these super attacks are actually going to be. So he pulled screenshots from, you know, certain fights in the anime or the game or even the manga to give us that visualization. So shout out to you, Purist. I really do appreciate that extra effort you put in to do just that. So in terms of his super attack effect, Gruesome Gallic Gun raises attack and causes immense damage to enemy, reduces damage received by 20% for one turn. That is I believe that is a unique super attack effect. So he has to perform a super attack in order to receive a 20% damage reduction buff for the remainder of the turn. So I will say immediately, this is looking like a slot 1 character. I mean, not necessarily. This actually, no, sorry. You'd actually put this Vegeta wherever the enemy's attacking the most. Obviously not counting slot 1, because he has a super attack first, right? So anywhere outside of the initial attack slot, this Vegeta could work very, very well to counter the attacks that the enemy will be dishing out. So pretty decent super attack effects so far. These are the links down here, by the way, and the categories. All right, let's go into and zoom into the passive here. So the Prince has arrived. Activates entrance animation once only and guards attacks for 3 turns if the enemy is not on the Super Saiyans category, or if all allies on the team are in the Mastered Evolution category. So right away, the guard ability is going to be super easy to see. There are not that many enemies in the game that are a Super Saiyans enemy, but some definitely are, right? But if you're running a full Mastered Evolution category, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I like how there's 2 conditions to that, not just 1. Also, guys, if you are going to build your concept, I guess I could have made a spot to show super attacks and stuff. But, you know, the bigger the text, obviously, the better. And things like white text will also go a long way to making these things a little bit more legible in the future. So, yeah, let's actually, again, zoom in here. And let's see what, again, Purist is cooking for this Vegeta. All right. Let's see. Attack and defense was 160% start of turn. Okay. Additional defense plus 10% per attack received for 3 turns. Huh. That's actually really interesting because this seems like a permanent buff. Am I right? That's a permanent. So for the first 3 turns, when he's guarding and when he. Okay, I like this design a lot actually. If you're getting slammed in slot 1 with a lot of attacks, he's guarding, and he's going to build up permanent defense. I like that a lot. Okay. Extreme class Super Saiyan category allies 3 key and 60% to defense, plus an additional attack plus 3% per attack performed. Launches 2 additional attacks that have a medium chance of becoming a super attack. Okay, so in the long run, this character becomes superbly broken if this attack effect here if there's no cap to it. I'm going to assume that there's meant to be like a cap to this, because if he just performs attacks, this is per attack, not even per super attack performed. So if he performs like 10 attacks or something, he's gonna end up with a crazy stupid attack stat. So I'm just going to assume that this is a limited ability just for the sake of this video, but he's actually looking really decent. Super Saiyan's Extreme class, like what Super Saiyan Extreme class characters are we really dealing with here? If I go to, let's pull up Broly, and then in terms, I wonder if I can click on these. Okay, I can. So let's go to Super Saiyans. So Extreme class Super Saiyans, who do we really have here for that though? Broly? Yeah, so that support, I mean, I guess this Broly could also work. Any future Brolys will definitely be nice, but who's I guess like any Majin Vegetas maybe, but besides that, who's like an Extreme class Saiyan, Super Saiyan? I think the support ability, unless there's like a really broken Broly, you know, dropping in the game sometime sooner or something, the support ability isn't really that great because you're not really going to be able to see that activate to I mean, I understand the premise behind it, but yeah, I'm not too sure it's a great ability because how many good characters are actually going to be receiving that buff? I'd argue very little, right? So yeah, all right, let's continue on here, and then let's see, active skill going Super Saiyan can be activated after 3 turns have elapsed from battle. That's very, very fair. That's a super easy condition. And you can see right here the, I guess, animation that would play, right? This is super sick, by the way. This is super sick. Super, super, super sick, right? All right, let's move on to the, you know, the fight with 19 here. So his super attack effects, look at this, by the way, looking really clean. Oh, by the way, the stats are very, very, I'm assuming these are rainbow stats, so pretty good defense, especially for Vegeta here. But anyways, Big Bang attack, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and causes immense damage to enemy, and performs a critical hit for 1 turn. That's so he's guaranteed. Another Super Saiyan Vegeta who just guaranteed crits. Very, very, very strong. Let's see what he looks like passive-wise. 188% to attack and defense, so it was, what, 160 before? Okay. Evade enemies' attacks, including super attacks, per attack received before transform. Wait. Evade enemies' attacks, including super attacks, per attack received before transformation. Okay, so yeah, that's I would say that's definitely broken, because since this is an active skill, you can technically just not transform, take 100 attacks, and then transform, and then dodge absolutely everything. So I would say that's definitely, that is definitely very, very OP. I would say maybe just evade attacks for 3, or maybe just either make it a 70% chance for a few turns, or make it a 100% chance for maybe like 1 turn, right? Something similar to what we saw with Int UI Goku, where once he transforms, you know, he ends up gaining a guaranteed turn of dodge. So super OP ability here. There should be at least a maximum to that. Super Saiyan's category allies 4 key and 30% to stats. Okay. Extreme class allies 3 key and reduce damage received by 40%. Yeah, okay. So abilities like this are also very, 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 very OP. On an extreme class team, you just win the game because your enemies are just not taking damage, right? Launch additional super attack if HP is 80% or higher. Launch 2 additional super attacks if HP is 80% or below. Nullify unarmed super attacks face at this character. Defense plus 100% after nullifying enemy super attack. So this Vegeta is very, very, very strong. He would eat, like, I don't see how he wouldn't be like the best character of all time. So I would say to fix this guy, right, just according to, you know, to make him a little bit more balanced, put a cap on this attack buff here, right? I'm not going to assume that he meant to make this guy super, super broken, right? Because it seems like a lot of thought went into this. So I would say cap this attack off here. Does not need to be, because again, it's just super broken otherwise, right? I would say make this just super class. Because when he he's buffing Super Saiyan. So I feel like when he goes into Super Saiyan, then the buff should be better than his previous transformed state. So I would say here, it can be extreme class, you know, 1 key and 20% to stats. He transforms, boom, 2 key and 30% to stats. Or 2 key and 10% to stats, and 4 key to 30% to stats. Something like that, right? Because I feel like when you go Super Saiyan, the Super Saiyan's support ability should be very, you know, a lot better. And if you're going to go the route of buffing extreme class allies, then the damage reduction is nice, very powerful, but it needs to be tuned down. You know, 10% maybe. 40% is just absurd, because at that point, with just all you have is one other strong character, and they're just not taking damage, right? And power creep is only going to continue in this game. So at least he's not stacking here. Guaranteed crits. Additional super attacks. He's just very, very, very superbly strong. I'd also slap a chance on the nullification here, or some type of condition, right? Nullify unarmed super attacks faces this character if HP is, you know, 80% or below, right? And then just give him 1 guaranteed additional when HP is 80% or above, and I think everything else is fine. So overall, really good concept. He's easily the best TWR in the game. This is like post 9-year anniversary levels of power here, even with still some changes to be made. But again, a very, very, very strong character, purist. GG's. Let us move on to the next concept here. And the next concept does come way of course, Purist again, with a new LR Android 18 with a costume change. So Purist made, you know, the DFE Vegeta very, very, very strong. Let's see what the Android is looking like here. Android 18, sorry. Yeah, so Android 18 does lead androids or Pepe Gals, HP attack and defense plus 180%. She seems to be an LR, of course, and she is an AGL type. So it's almost like, you know, this is the part 2, if you will, to the, you know, the Dokkan Festival Vegeta that we got here. And she does have a costume change, as you can see. She basically strips down that blue coat. So all you Android 18 simps, relax just a little bit, okay? Let's see what she's looking like before her costume change. Let's zoom in here, a little bit hard to read. So the 18 key is, oh sorry, okay, this is the 12 key, I'd assume. She stacks attack, raises defense for 1 turn, and causes colossal damage. Reduce damage received by 18% for 1 turn. That's, again, a very strong ability. Okay. 18 key, Sadistic 18. Raises defense, stacks defense. Raises attack for 1 turn and causes mega colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers enemy's defense. Okay, so very strong super attack effects. The female android. Attack and defense was 118%, looking good so far. Guard enemies' attacks for 8 turns from the start of battle, very strong. Launch an additional super attack when there is a pure stance category enemy, very strong. Additional key plus 1 and attack and defense plus 18% per attack received for 3 turns. I love that ability there. It's RNG dependent though, right? Because if you're not getting attacked a lot, then you're not going to be able to build up a decent amount. But in those events, right? Because again, remember, Dokkan, the hardest events in Dokkan right now are these, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turn fights where the enemy, like, I don't know, the cooler core can super attack you or attack you 15 times in that slot 1, right? So imagine putting Android 18 in that slot. She will be guarding, so she's going to be looking really, really good. And after super attack, she's going to be very strong. But all of the attack that she's taking, you know, the key, it's just very, very, very strong. Very strong. High chance to launch critical hits for 5 turns, very strong. Attack, super effective against all types when key is 18 or higher. All allies 3 key and defense plus 18% when key is 24. Perform costume change after receiving enemy super attack. Oh, so this is the scene. So she receives an attack and boom, I guess she not transforms, but she strips for us, basically. As soon as, you know, okay, so far I really like this build. It's a very strong but like balanced build, something I think we could actually see in game. So very exciting so far. Let's see what the new merciless Android 18 is looking like. So super attacks are the same. Oh no, she's greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn. And then on an 18 key, it's massively. That's okay, it's very, very strong. Let's see what she's doing here. So attack and defense with 180%. Defense plus 18% per ultra super attack launched. Medium chance to launch ultra super attacks when facing a pure stance category enemy. Or all allies are on the androids category. Launch additional ultra super attack. I don't know if that's actually possible. Any super attacks you perform, I think, are guaranteed just to beat, 12 key super. I don't know if that's actually possible, but that's just too OP for sure. Evade enemy super attacks if facing a pure Saiyan category enemy. Attack super effective against all types when key is 18 or more. All allies 3 key and damage received by 18% when key is 20. You don't need this anymore, but all right. Once you've done this attack twice, okay. I mean, for an LR defense is not, I wouldn't say low, but definitely, not the highest. Again, still really good defense though. But once you've done this super attack with 108% defense, and you're getting 18, like you do this twice, and you don't need any extra defense from the kit. She's fine. She's perfect. Honestly, Purist, it seems like, I wouldn't even say it seems like, your concepts are definitely like futuristic. I wouldn't say they're super OP, like what are you doing? I think these are actual legitimate not even options, just legitimate builds that we could see in like a year from now. This Android 18, like this is like a kit we could see, I think, in like today's meta. Maybe fine-tune just a little bit, but I actually really like this 18. I love actually this 18 concept here. Once she gets hit with a super attack, she just becomes God, apparently, or a goddess, I should say, because this is very, very strong. But you never know, right? Like the 9th year anniversary characters could just be super broken. So this could just be another day and another random LR that Dokkan drops, you know, on year 9 or year 10. So again, so far, Pira's really good, very strong concepts. Let me know what you guys think personally, but very good. I would say, again, a little futuristic with these concepts in terms of, like, we're not at this level yet where characters can just do this for free, right? Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Let's move on to the next concept here. And the next concept is actually a Dokkan Festival Zarbon coming from Black Paladin, another card creator in our community. Let's see what he is cooking up for us. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have the Dokkan Festival Zarbon. Now, his leader skill is Space Traveling Warriors, as well as Terrifying Conquerors at 170. And then Transformation Boost and Planet Namek Saga, the extra 30% to stats. Let me just make sure. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So far, a decent leader skill. Actually, I would argue it's actually a pretty good leader skill because you have a lot of really powerful not LOE, but you know, wicked bloodline characters, and you also have the Goat Ginyu and his really good supporters here. So, and even S tier cooler. You even have the extreme class free support Garlic Jr. So honestly, you can make a really competent team, you know, with this leader skill so far. So let's see if Zarbon is actually cooking though. So we have a T-War Int Dokkan Festival Zarbon here. Let's see. Thank you, by the way, for you know, nice big text, so that way I don't have to zoom in too much to actually read this. But Space Traveling Warriors, again, super attack effects, greatly raises the defense and causes immense damage. Okay, so that's very strong. Passive skill, the Radiant Beauty. Also, 13k defense is very, very good. Attack is okay. Actually, I mean, stats are looking really good, honestly. Again, I'm assuming these are rainbow stats. The Radiant Beauty, 3 key and 150% to attack and defense. Okay. Plus an additional 25% to attack and defense per attack received, up to 125%. Changes the random type of key sphere into rainbow key spheres. Terrifying Conquerors, category allies, 30% to attack and defense. Reduces damage received by 3% per key sphere obtained. Wow. High chance to dodge an additional... high chance to dodge and an additional 30% to attack and defense to Terrifying Conqueror category allies with 5 or more key spheres obtained. So he's not giving any key, but if you can obtain 5 or more key spheres, then you're giving basically Terrifying Conqueror category allies 60% to stats. Very strong. Immediately, I mean, can transform into Super Zarbon after 5 attacks have been received or after 4 turns have elapsed. I like that. I like, you know, conditions, you know, that have multiple procs. So that way, if one doesn't work, maybe the other one, you're getting a little bit more luck with the other condition. So again, this is one of those things where I need to see this character in game because this character is building up to, he's greatly stacking defense. I mean, thank God he doesn't have additionals in this kit because he's at 200 and no, actually, yeah, it's a little higher than that. It's 275% to defense with an extra 60%. One of them being a multiplicative buff. Like, his defense, I think, would be a little too absurd here. Or maybe, again, I am recording this after the World Tournament characters Goku and Piccolo drop, so maybe their defense isn't too absurd, actually. I just see, like, all these defensive buffs. Like, I would not be surprised if this extra one here was, like, excluding himself, right? But again, I just have to see this character in game, because 150% defense, building up, and then supporting like that, while greatly raising defense is definitely very strong. But something actually, I still think it's super realistic though. Like I would genuinely love to see this, and I would not say that this is out of the realm of possibility. It's just a very strong Dokkan Festival character, right? All right, Super Zarbon here. Okay, Now he greatly stacks attack. Immense damage and medium chance to stun. Okay, I'll take that. The Repulsive Beast. I like that name. It's a good name. It's a good name. 3 key and 250% to stats. Wow. Plus an additional 50% to attack and defense when performing a super attack. Changes a random type of key sphere into rainbow key spheres. Terrifying Conquer category allies. 6% to attack and defense. Very, very strong. Reduces average speed by 40%. Perform a critical hit with 3 or more key spheres obtained. Guard against all attacks with 5 or more keys. Does he become just the best TUR in the game? I mean, look, his categories are definitely on the weaker side, but all things considered, I mean, greatly stacking attack with 250% to attack while giving yourself 60% to attack while critting, like, I think that's too. I think this needs to be tuned down to maybe just once, like just for one turn, right? Because 50% to stats on top of 250, on top of the guaranteed crit, on top of the 60% to attack, on top of the links. Like, again, links are not the greatest here, obviously. But when you factor in that 200%, but I think the greatly stacking would be a little bit too much for this character. But let's just say it was greatly raising attack for one turn. Is he still the best TUR? After super attacking, I would say yes. The orb changing, rainbow orb changing, like this character can easily be a free slot 3 character because he's in that third slot. He's like literally rainbow orb changing. So that way your other characters on the rotation could eat. And by other characters, I mean like really good other characters here on his team, right? He's supported with 60% to stats, which is insane. And he has 40% damage reduction, which is amazing for a slot 3 character. But the best part is that he's guarding. And the best part about that is that he also is receiving extra stats on super attack. Characters who receive stats on super attack are best to be out of slot 1 because they're not at their best or highest defensive prowess, if you will, before they super attack. So you want them to super attack first, which is perfect for slot 2 or slot 3, but since this guy is orb changing and he is a support, it makes him a beautiful slot 3 option, who's just not going to die and going to provide a lot of offensive and defensive power. This is, I think, if you want to say that other characters are better simply because, you know, of the lack of when I say lack, this definitely isn't a lack of categories, but compare this to other characters and you'd see where the lack of category conversation could really come into play here. Regardless, though, Super Zarbon is very, very strong. My only thing is to change, again, I can't speak on this too much. It feels like the defense is too high for this character. I would say maybe tone this down to 75%. And then make this support here excluding himself. And then you can get away with that maybe. I still think it's a little bit too strong, but maybe this could be for 3 turns too, right? But this definitely has to be for 1 turn. Or else he just be like, and what is it? 5 attack, yeah, he just becomes God, literally. You know, like, this is God and this is Goddess over here, right? Actually, let me see something. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Again, very, very strong character. Some small changes I think need to be made, but that's just my opinion overall. Please let me know your opinion. Black Paladin, you did an amazing job with Zarbon, and I think we can all say we really need a Zarbon in this game, and I think Zarbon deserves this type of respect 100%. Let's move on to the next concept here. Let me go ahead and pull up Discord for you. Okay, there we go. Now, the next concept does actually come from you know, we call him Drip17, but he posted this back in March. This is a transforming Vegeta concept with a standby skill. Now, he just made a few mistakes here, a few blunders. I think it was just with the leader skill. So we'll talk about that in a second, but the reason why it's all the way up here is because, again, I commented recently on it. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and cover his Vegeta concept. It is, again, this Vegeta does have a standby mechanic. Let's go ahead and see the respect that he put on Vegeta. Actually, I guess I can go. Let's go through this Vegeta first, and then we'll end with a Dokkan Fest TN. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. So this is now he meant to put Gifted Warriors and Miraculous Awakening for the 170, and then Battle of Fate and Worthy Rivals for the extra 30%. Now in the future, Drip, if you could again just use white text just to make this a little bit easier for myself and any others watching to read, we would definitely appreciate that. But again, it's still not unlegible. Is unlegible a word? But you get my point, right? So it's still fine. But thank you. All right, Gifted Warriors, Miraculous Awakening, Battle of Fate, Worthy Rivals. This is what the category looks like. Overall, very, very strong. You have some really solid options and supports here. You also have the new Piccolo Jr., so obviously very strong. You have not Demon King Piccolo. You have, you do have Demon King Piccolo here, but more specifically, the Superhero Piccolo, one of the better units in the game. Honestly, it's a wonky category, right? But it's definitely a strong category, depending on which way you want to run and build this team. But keeping in mind that you do have a Vegeta character here, like, you can easily get away with running this Zeno Vegeta, who's an amazing support, by the way. So already off to, I think, a really strong start for this team. Let's see what Vegeta is doing. So these are all this category. Look at all of this. That's a lot of. So when I said Zarbon had a lack of categories, you can, now see that, right? Okay. Stats, defense is looking pretty good. HP is good. Attack is actually pretty high for a AGLU. Okay, AGLTUR. Okay, let's see. So final shine attack is his 12 key. He stacks attack, raises defense for 1 turn, and causes immense damage to enemy. Okay. Let's zoom in here. Strive for greater power. Key +1, and attack and defense plus 160%. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 60%, and medium chance to perform a critical hit when performing a super attack. Okay. Plus an additional defense plus 60% when there is a super class ally attacking in the same turn. Very easy. Plus an additional attack plus 60%, and launches an additional super attack when facing an extreme class enemy. Reduces damage received by 30% within the same turn after receiving an attack. So, okay. First things first. I really like how this Vegeta is built. He's actually very strong in this state, because the extra defense is free. The extra attack is free. I mean, every single red zone outside of the Gammas are extreme class, I believe. So you're seeing this extra attack power and the additional super, which is going to only increase your defense and continue stacking your attack. It's very strong. The one thing I'm wondering is, so the damage reduction is also a very strong ability. So this is the thing, right? He is a character who, like I mentioned before with Zarbon, this is a character who gets a lot of, like, 60% on super is not a low amount, right? So this is a character that you want to have their super attack go off before he gets hit. So that's like, that screams slot 2, slot 3 to me. But you also want this character to get hit to have that damage reduction, which to me is like a slot 1 ability. Because if you're getting attacked 5 times in slot 1, you have to put him in that first slot just to pray that the first attack isn't a super attack, right? So that way, it's a normal attack. Beautiful. Now he has 30% damage reduction up, which is going to be, again, it's going to save him, honestly. And then after he super attacks, any attacks he receives after that, he just won't take damage, because now he has a 60% defense slapped onto that, right? Plus a 30% from his super attack effect. So I actually like this, because you really have to kind of consider how you're going to play with this Vegeta. Keeping him in slot 2, maybe slot 3, not really. I wouldn't put him in slot 3, either slot 2 or slot 1. You're really going to have to see and be careful how you play with him, because if you get super attack in slot 1 with no chance of super, depending on the event, you can easily get one shot, right? Okay, standby skills switch to standby. Switch to standby for 5 turns. Can be activated upon entering attacking turn once only. So you can enter the turn and just immediately do this. All right, that's unless am I reading that wrong? Hold on. Switch to standby for 5. It's for 4. Okay, so it's a 5-turn standby skill. can be activated upon entering attacking turn once only. Okay, so yeah, once you enter a turn, it's almost like the physical angel transforming Golden Frieza, where upon entering you can just activate his active skill and transform with him, right? And he goes into the Golden Monkey here. Now this here is his, his standby skill. Super attack greatly raises attack, very strong. Greatly raises defense, geez, for 1 turn, and causes immense damage with a medium chance to stun. Okay. A step closer to new power. Here we go. Ki +3 and attack +250%. Plus an additional defense +100% and reduces damage received by 60% when attacking in the first or second slot. Okay, that's strong. Plus an additional attack +50%, reduce damage received by 70%, and high chance to perform a critical hit when attacking in the 3rd slot. Plus an additional attack +38% when performing a finish attack. So it's almost like if you put this character in the 1st slot, you're like, okay, I can't finish off the enemy, so I'm gonna play it safe, get my 100% defense and 60% damage reduction. But if you put him in the 3rd slot, you're gambling and saying, okay, I want that extra attack power to try and finish off the enemy. I will be rewarded with an extra 10% damage reduction, but defense just won't exist for me, right? All right, finish skill number 1, Flame Cannon. Temporary attack +5% per charge counter accumulated and causes ultimate damage to enemy. Finish skill condition is to basically can be activated when charge counter is 38 or below, once only. So this is basically like the 8th year anniversary characters, where pretty much like the more ki you collect, the higher the charge counter will become. Finish skill Ultra Final Flash. Temporary attack +10% per charge counter accumulated. So if you get 39 or more, it's 390% or more. Causes super ultimate damage to enemy and transforms. So you do damage and you transform. And if you do get 39 or more, you enter the Super Saiyan 4. This is a really cool card, by the way. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. He greatly raises the defense and raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage to enemy. High chance to perform a critical hit for 1 turn. So if you get additional, that sounds to me like, okay, this is like a mix of 2 super attacks to me. This is a mix of AGL UI Goku, where he has he gains a chance, a 50% chance to crit. So to me, if you do 2 super attacks, that second super attack is guaranteed to crit no matter what. But this also reminds me of the GT Super Saiyan Goku, the Golden Week character. It's worded the same way. I wonder if this is stacking defense, or if it's like the Goku and Vegeta from Golden Week a few years back, where essentially for 1 turn he's only raising attack by 30%, but raising defense by 50%, right? Just for so all of this is happening for 1 turn. I'm going to say, knowing Drip 17, I'm going to say that this is probably just all of 1 turn buff here. Vegeta has ascended. Let's see how strong Vegeta is now. 5 ki and 200% to stats. Very strong. Plus an additional 50% to attack and defense, and nullifies enemy's action for 1 turn when performing a super attack. So he didn't put on the super attack effect, but it's essentially the same thing. Nullifying that action is very, very strong. I wonder though, actually, this is actually stronger, because if you perform 2 super attacks, like this isn't a once only effect. If you perform 2 super attacks, I wonder if you can nullify actions twice. By the way, I have allergies right now, so if I'm sniffling, I apologize. But okay, launch an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super attack, and launches an additional attack. So he can perform 3 super attacks per turn so far, right? His normal, the additional has a great chance to become a super, and then the hidden potential, right? With also the you definitely go crits on a character like this. So far, crits are going to come in clutch. Reduce damage received by 30%, very strong. Plus an additional attack plus 100%. And reduce damage received by 30% when enemy's HP is 50% or more upon entering the attacking turn. Plus an additional defense plus 100%. And launch an additional super attack when the enemy's HP is 50% or less upon entering the attacking turn. That's why I like it, right? When your enemy's HP is higher, he's just dishing out a ton of attack power, right? But if your enemy is lower than 50% HP, then he becomes more defensive, trying to keep, I guess, himself and the team alive, but performing still an extra super attack, which is doing more damage at the end of the day, right? Very strong. High chance of evading enemy's attack. High chance of evading enemy's attacked. If you're watching this, type in hashtag attacked. Yes, very. I like that. Enemies attacked. Plus an addition. I'm just kidding. Plus an additional chance of evading enemy attack plus 8% within the same turn. With each attack evaded. Okay. All allies key plus 1 and attack and defense plus 14%. Him being a support on top of all this is absolutely insane. And Drip17 knows that, which is why he made the support only 1 key and 14% to stats. But still, very, very strong. Basically 50% chance to dodge. And every single time he dodges, he gets an extra 8%. So basically dodge 3 times and you're at a 70+% chance to dodge. It's a very, very strong character. A lot of defensive utility, right? A lot of damage reduction, a lot of additional super attacks, which is great. Like he's actually untouchable. He's lit. With all the super attacks he performs here, like, what do you do against this character? Supporting 2 is insane. I think this is like this to me screams like 9th year anniversary. If not, like, I guess, you know, the worldwide this is a very strong character, and I love how he, you know, or I love how Drip used this standby skill to either launch an attack or still launch an attack, but use that as an opportunity to transform into Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And I've even been asking for literally the same character, but of course using Goku instead, right? But this is still an absolute amazing concept. Drip, I think you knocked it out of the park. I think this Vegeta is still way too strong for today's current meta. But give it a few more months. I think the worldwide celebration will introduce some really strong firepower. So maybe then a Vegeta like this can definitely come in clutch. But this is, a very, very, very strong unit. Let me know what you guys think. And then we have one more. It's a very long video already, so I'm sorry about that. But hey, you've been asking for longer videos. Here you go. We have one more concept to get through for today's video, and that is going to be the Dokkan Festival Tien, submitted by Crab Morsky. Android Saga Tien. Let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Crab Morsky, thank you for sending in your... Let's go ahead and delete all of this. Thank you for sending in your custom concept. We appreciate it. This is what it is right here. Seems... Oh, I like how he actually blurred everything out. This is a AGLUR. I like how you actually do this, by the way. Cool. It makes it easier to focus on, right? All right. Leader skill is Bond of Friendship, All Out Struggle, and Earthlings, 170. And then extra 30% to Earthbred Fighters and Android / Cell Saga. And looking like a really strong team so far. I mean, you literally have the new Goku here. They really, like, you can make a sub-world tournament team, I think, with a team like this, right? You have a lot of strong characters here. So I think you make a very strong, decent team for sure, especially to build around Tien. Tien, Earthbred Fighters, Earthlings, on Friendship, Connected Hope, Full Power Struggle. Okay, cool. This looks very neat, by the way, so thank you. Crab Morsky, thank you for the neatness. I really do appreciate it. All right, here we go. I can also change the background here because I think the background is kind of messing with the legibility here too. So I can definitely make a new template. So, but yeah, let's hop into this. So, super attack effects. The Shin Kikoho. Greatly raises attack, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, and causes immense damage to enemy with a high chance of disabling next enemy's action, and medium chance of sacrificing 5% HP. So he has a high chance of disabling enemy's action. You know, to me, that's a strong ability. I can already see people complaining about that because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing a character here or there, but from what I know, every character who has this ability is just a guaranteed, you know, chance to nullify, right? But I understand that this is a character with only 1 super attack, so giving it a chance is definitely, it makes sense to me. High chance I think is definitely fine, right? And medium chance of sacrificing HP I think is definitely okay. Like, I don't really mind that either, to be honest with you. So I'm already really liking this TN. Okay, passive. Let's see. 180% to stats. Okay. 13% to attack and defense with each attack performed, up to 78%. Okay. Launches additional super attack when HP is 90% or less. Can activate during attacking turn. That's actually very strong, right? Again, I don't know if that's actually possible, but let's just assume this TN is in the 2nd slot. You enter the turn with 100% HP, but the character in the 1st slot takes a lot, like let's say 20% of HP, you know, worth of damage. Then that will activate mid-turn TN's ability to launch an additional super attack, which is going to greatly raise his attack permanently and greatly stack his defense for 1 turn. Launch an additional attack with a great chance of becoming a super attack. Reduces damage received by 10% and increases critical chance by 10% per bond of friendship category ally attacking in the same turn. So bond of friendship is the category you really want to go for here. Okay, so before I go to the active skill, I'm trying to think, right? Because what are the stats? 16k attack. I'm wondering if the attack is too much, because 180% to attack is already very high, right? 13% with each attack performed, up to 70. That's an extra 78% to attack is very strong. But remember that you can perform easily 3 super attacks in a turn. You're greatly stacking attack 3 times. You know what? Let me, to kind of pull up the numbers here, let me look at what Pan does, because Pan does something similar, right? So she greatly stacks attack, you know, when you have a Goku. Let's just say you have a Goku. What is her stats? So 150%, 50% on super, 50% here. But Tien has 180% and then an extra 78 with 3 additionals. Additional here. I mean, what are her stats here? And then Tien's 16k. Yeah, this Tien is strong. This Tien is very, very, very strong. I mean, if you just want to make this a guaranteed 5% HP loss, I mean, have at it, because this is... You know what you can do? You know what? You know what's interesting? So, hear me out, right? Let's say you enter the turn with 98% HP. Oh, you know what? Screw it. 100% HP. Tien comes in and he super attacks, right? And he loses this 5% chance procs, right? So now you have 95% HP. Which means that this extra super attack won't proc it because you have to be under 90%, not 95. But you get this ability here to activate the second super, guaranteed super. And then that brings you down to 90%. And then your hidden potential super, which brings down to 85%. If all 3 of those super attacks bring you down and proc the 5% to HP loss, wouldn't this also then just proc? That's a lot of he's strong. I don't know how to feel because this is Tien, right? Tien deserves the best character in the game, to be honest with you. And I mean, this Tien to me, I mean, he does have the easy bond of friendship, you know, damage reduction buffs. Wow. Okay. Active skill, help from Goku. Can be activated when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. Or when there is an ally whose name includes Goku attacking the same turn from 3 turns from the start of battle. Effect key 6. Removes all negative status effects and recovers 80%. Wow, oh my god, dude. This Tien is so good. What the heck? Jesus. 6 key. I mean, 6 key isn't really a big deal because, I mean, what are the links? Cold Judgment, Crane Scope, prepare for battle, over to Flash. So, I mean, over to Flash is what, a 3 key link? Prepare for battle is a 2 key link. You're not going to be struggling for key. I mean, as long as you have those links activated, right? So 6 key is cool. Remove all negative status effects is it's like a sensu bean, right? And then recovers 80% HP. It's just so. Is this all allies? Is this all allies 6 key? Or is it just for Tien? I would assume it's all allies, but again, this is a very simple kit, but it gets out of hand because he's greatly stacking attack, and it's like he performs. I love how it's built because you can theoretically not proc this because you have too much HP. But all your other super attacks just reduce your HP, which just makes it proc anyways. You're doing 4 super attacks in a turn, greatly stacking your attack with 180% to attack and 78% to an extra attack power there. And then crit, like, I don't think, the thing is, I don't think he's OP. Like, does that sound crazy? I don't know. To me, this doesn't feel like, oh yeah, he's just absurdly OP. But at the same time, he just seems OP because of like all this, like, I don't know. This is a very very interesting build. I actually really like this build. Let me know what you think. This Dokkan, I would actually love to see this Dokkan Festival Tien drop in game. With this exact kit. Like, I just want to see what that looks like because this is absurd. In terms of just what I picture. But maybe, because again, 16k attack is a lot. Remember, Pan with a few super attacks is reaching 6, 7, 8 mil. This Tien is dropping what, 7 mil, 6 mil start of turn, and he has 2 good turns of super attacks, and he's pushing 12, 13 mil or something like that. I don't know. Again, like it's crazy. It's crazy because he's not only getting stats per super, but he's getting stats per super. Like, I don't know. Regardless, this is a very cool build. I would say the standby into Vegeta was a very cool card. I think this is my favorite of the video, though. Actually, I don't know, because that Android 18, before, you know, she stripped, was also I like that build as well, too. From Purist. I don't know. Black Paladin, Drip 17, Purist, of course, and Crab Morsky. You guys did amazing jobs building these characters today. You didn't build them today, obviously. You built them a little bit ago, but thank you for submitting these. I really do appreciate it. This is episode 1. It's a 53 minutes. I'll try and keep it shorter next time. I apologize, but this is a very strong Tien. I don't know if I don't know how to rank. I don't know how to rank these characters from you know, least favorite to favorite. But this Tien is I like the way he's built. And he's definitely OP, but part of me is like, he's not really that OP, but like, I want to see him in game. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Thank you for all submissions, and peace.